Hello friends, welcome to the series of entrepreneurship. Today we are going to watch a film on late Mr. L.D. Bhave and Sons. Entrepreneurship is a dream cherished by practically everyone. All of us want to be a businessman. All of us want to have that freedom. All of us would like to have that kind of reward. But in reality you will see that people cannot convert their dream into reality. On paper, in principles, they do agree that the risk is to be taken. But in reality, they cannot take that risk. They cannot come out of that comfort zone. They cannot shatter that sense of security. And that is why entrepreneurs are very few. In the present context, Mr. Bhave was a businessman. He was having a business. He was selling kerosene, packed kerosene. And that is why the company approached him for a new concept. Now, in entrepreneurship, it is not just the risk that is important, but also understanding the opportunity, grabbing the opportunity, sensing the opportunity is also very important. And when this new concept of LPG came, Mr. Bhave understood the future and immediately took the dealership because he was ready to take the risk. And he could convince his customers. That was the confidence he showed. In this film, you will be witnessing two important aspects. They are not directly related to the principles of entrepreneurship, but they are backbone of entrepreneurship. The first aspect is the family support. Mr. Bhave could succeed because his family gave him entire wholehearted support. His wife went to practically every single forum to demonstrate how to cook on this new device. And the second aspect I was referring to, and that is human face of entrepreneurship. It is not just question of risk and reward. In fact, you will witness that in this film, it is very clear that he did not take this particular dealership, he did not take this particular challenge simply because of the reward. Reward was a secondary aspect. But he realized the importance of this new concept. And there are several incidences narrated where he has shown his human face and he has helped his customers going out of the way, or breaking the rules. So now friends, let's watch this film.
In every home, it is not easy to get the delivery of a gas cylinder. In fact, it's a struggle to get one. But the customers of L.D. Bhave and Sons are relaxed. They can put the responsibility on their shoulders. They are sure and confident of the unclean service provided 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Very few like L.D. Bhave and Sons have managed this feat consistently.
आज जवळजवळ 1967 सालापासून आमचं अकाउंट एल डी भावेमध्ये आहे. म्हणजे गेली 38 वर्ष आम्ही त्यांचे कस्टमर आहोत. पण आजपर्यंत कधी अशी आमची तक्रार आली नाही की बाबा यांच्याकडे गॅस मिळाला नाही किंवा गॅस वेळेवर आला नाही. नोंदवलं की वेळेवर त्यांच्या ठरल्या वेळेप्रमाणे आम्हाला गॅस मिळायचा. किंवा लिकेजची तक्रार आहे किंवा गॅस चालत नाही किंवा बटन खराब झाले किंवा काय झाले, कुठली गोष्ट म्हणली तरी त्यांचं त्या दिवशी सेम सर्व्हिस असायची.
My late father Dada used to have a big grocery and provision shop opposite Deccan Cinema on Jangli Maharaj Road. That time my father used to sell only 15-liter kerosene tins of the then Burma Shell Oil Company, which was selling kerosene under the name Chakra. And that time my father used to sell about 12 to 1500 this kind of packed kerosene tins every month. On the last week of December or third week of December in 1955, two gentlemen, one was an Australian gentleman, Mr. Hansworth, and the other was one Dutch gentleman, Mr. Bruning. They came to our house on Lakshmi Road where we used to stay, and one of them was carrying a cylinder which was grey in color and not in red like today's gas cylinders. And the other gentleman was carrying a gas stove which was made in Holland and a regulator and a rubber tube. And they came to our house and they talked to my father that we were wondering who is the person selling about 12 to 1500 packed kerosene tins every month of our company. And now we have come out with a total new concept in cooking media known as liquefied petroleum gas, and the brand name of our gas is Barshen. And then they narrated how to use that gas cylinder, attaching it to the gas stove with rubber tube and the regulator. They told my mother all the safety features and safety precautions she should follow. And then, of course, even my father, mother, I was very small, I was schooling that time. But we were wondering what kind of new apparatus has come to our house.
During the old days, when the concept of gas was new, late Shri L.D. Bhave took a huge risk of setting up a gas agency. People had a lot of queries. Does the food get cooked properly? Does the color remain the same? Is it consistent? And many such more questions.
See, as you know, Pune is a very traditional and orthodox city. When my father decided to take up this agency in 1956, the times were totally different than what they are today. He had to struggle for two reasons. First of all, this was a totally new concept in cooking because nobody in India had ever seen this new fuel for cooking. And then the most important thing, the fuel available then, that is coal and wood, was so cheap that it was sold at 2 rupees 50 paisa and 3 rupees, whereas the LPG it used to cost 18 rupees 25 paisa. Then customers had various doubts in their minds also. They used to think this will explode, this will not be allowed, or rather they cannot use this fuel for cooking when there is a religious function in the house. Then they used to think that they do not know from where they have filled the cylinder. So at sometimes I have heard from my father and mother that when they used to bring the cylinder to their house, or our delivery boy used to deliver the cylinder at their house, they used to actually wash the cylinder and take it inside the house. So these were the difficulties which even we can't think of today, what they have faced then.
Late Shri L.D. Bhave and Sau Leela Tai went on a mission to educate people about the easy usefulness of gas. They made demonstrations from house to house as to how to fry papad, how to make chapatis, etc.
प्रत्येक क्लबमध्ये जाऊन म्हणजे पुण्यामधले जे क्लब आहेत तिथे प्रत्येक ठिकाणी जाऊन मी त्यांना भाकरी, पोळी, थालीपीठ हे सगळं करून दाखवलेलं आहे. आणि बाकीचं काय भात आमटी ते सांगायचं त्यांना, म्हणजे तेवढं बायका काही बावळत नसतात, पण तेवढं केलं मात्र.
Even I remember my father, he had one store on Lakshmi Road. My mother used to, in the evening times, my mother used to take cylinder and the stove there and used to demonstrate how to, make bhakri, which is a very typical Maharashtrian rather part of the food. And then slowly people started accepting the new concept.
On 11th of January 1956, my father gave 7 new connections on the first day. First 2 connections were taken by the then very famous doctor, Dr. Y.V. Phatak, who took 2 connections, one for his residence, the other for his hospital. And then the taking of new connections was started very slowly. You will not believe me, in first year, in the entire year, my father could sell only 189 gas connections in entire Pune.
एजन्सी जेव्हा घेतली त्यावेळेला भावे 3 रुपये महिन्याने शेगड्या भाड्याने द्यायचे आणि सिलेंडर उधार म्हटलं तरी देणार. फक्त एवढंच, तुम्ही वापरून पहा, नाही आवडलं तर परत द्या. दुसरी गोष्ट, पैसे जरी उधार राहिले तरी त्या कधी तगादा लावला नाही, कारण धंदा बसत होता. लोकांकडे गेलो, लोकांना गॅस फार आवडायचा, तरी पण काही लोक घ्यायचे नाही. का? की त्यावेळेला स्वस्ताही होती. तुमचा गॅस 17 रुपये 18 रुपये त्यावेळेला घेणं म्हणजे परवडत नव्हतं. पण भाव्यांनी उधार का होईना पण दिले आणि त्या धंद्यामध्ये घरोघर जाऊन दादांनी खूप कष्ट घेतले.
Along with educating people about the use of gas, late Shri L.D. Bhave also insisted on educating people about the safety points of using gas. He used to train the staff and the customers regarding on how to avoid accidents. Because of this, no major accidents occurred and the use of gas grew up substantially. This old scene changed.
Whether he'll be able to have sub-agents in places like Karki, Chinchwad, Dehu Road, Satara and Baramati. My father said yes, he has contacts in these small towns because they were very small towns that
असा प्रसंग आला होता की माझी कामगार करणारी बाई माझी पोळ्यावाली तिच्याकडे श्राद्ध होतं आणि तिला अगदी अर्जंट गॅस हवा होता कारण रॉकेलही मिळत नव्हतं. तर मला तो त्यांनी दिला. त्यामुळे त्या बाईला तर खूप आनंद झालाच, पण त्याच्यापेक्षा मलाही जास्त आनंद झाला.
मी 1961 पासून LD भावे अँड सन्समध्ये नोकरीला लागले. त्यावेळेस नोकरी करणं फार कठीण होतं. त्यावेळेस वाहनं नव्हती. लोकमान्य नगरमधनं कसं यायचं काय यायचं मला काही कळत नव्हतं. ताबडतोब त्यांनी तिथे गोखले साहेब म्हणून होते, त्यांना सांगितलं यांचं नियरेस्ट आपली ब्रँच असेल तिथे बदली करा. वेळोवेळी कुठेतरी जाऊन डेमॉन्स्ट्रेशन करायला सांगितले, पण आम्ही कधी दमलो नाही. आल्यानंतर आमची काळजी घ्यायची की तुम्ही खूप दमलेला आहात, काहीतरी संध्याकाळी खा आणि मगच तुम्ही व्यवस्थितपणे सगळ्या लोकांना देऊन वगैरे घरी जात जा.
Late L.D. Bhave has shown the path of success. He has set an example for others to follow on how one can do good business without leaving ethics, humanity or morale of business. With the same integrity, Mr. Vijay Bhave and his wife Vinita, along with their son Siddharth and wife Kavita, have kept the ball rolling even after 5 decades of huge success.
now after 50 years, it may be little late or too late also, but now we have started thinking of diversifying our businesses into 2 new businesses. Of course, one is related to the liquefied petroleum gas business only. It is known as reticulated gas pipeline systems.
Many builders are providing this reticular system as an added feature to the customer. This system is more customer friendly because he pays after he uses his LPG. I think this LPG reticular system is going to be the future of LPG supply in Pune, and we are doing this pipeline system in a big way.
Second option which we are fiddling about is to go in for solar systems, new projects. Water heating by solar system has almost become a standard practice now. But solar lighting is a rarity. When there is such a scarcity of electricity throughout the country, Actually, government should advocate all the new flat owners or skyscraper builders and developers to go in for solar lighting, which at the moment without subsidy has got a very high cost investment. The solar agency, according to me, is going to be the future of power generation in this country, and we are trying to go in that field.
To meet you through this particular program. All of you will agree with me that we have seen a film of a very extraordinary success of apparently ordinary people. I remember late L.D. Bhave, who used to sit in his grocery shop near the PMT bus stand, and along with my father I used to visit him. I think this must have been story of 1952-53. I was in a school and I used to help my father. Now that time I still distinctly remember that Mr. Bhave asked my father whether we would like to buy the Persian gas. And I remember distinctly my father said 17 rupees is too much. Then I still remember that conversation that Mr. Bhave said, why don't you take the gas with you and use it for 2-3 months and find out for yourself. And I tell you that we became sold on that. 17 rupees initially was thought to be costly, but considering the convenience, we could buy it. And not only we bought it, people around, our neighbors and everybody started talking about it. I think this is the success, maybe on a very small scale. When I look back to the last 50 years, how things have changed, I find that Mr. Bhave was very much in the business. All his family members were helping him. Because initially it was also necessary to go to the Mahila Mandals, talk to people, tell them the utility of this. And knowing Bhave family for all these years, I find that they are socially oriented people also. They did a good business, absolutely no doubt about it. But what is more important is the human touch that I have seen through all this. And today I find that Vijay and the family members today, his sons, are really making a good progress. This is an inspiring story for everybody. We talk in the colleges about entrepreneurship development. I think here is a success story which all of us in Pune will admire and appreciate. Now when I look back, I find what are the main characteristic features, outstanding features. One is risk taking, of course, because from grocery shop to gas is not a very easy transformation, and especially at the time when this was not very popular. Secondly, determination that we are going to make it a success. And support of the family members. I think if the support of the family members is not there, it is likely that even a good proposal may not see the light of the day. So I am really happy. I am sure that you must have also appreciated all the qualities. And today we find that Mr. Bhave are also trying to diversify, getting into new fields, and we wish all of them very grand success. I am sure that you will also be inspired to see such inspiring stories around you, so that in India entrepreneurship will also take shape and India's bright future will be highly contributed